What's your name and what's your game?
My name is John Remedios, and I'm working on a game called Shoot Shoot Mega Pack.
How many people work on Shoot Shoot Mega Pack?
I'm the only full-time developer on it, but I have 2 people who are helping me out part-time as well.
How do you deal with the challenge of developing a couch multiplayer game with only yourself there all the time?
That's a good question. I don't think I deal with it very well. I buy a lot of beer for a lot of people, and I get them to come over to my house or to meet in some common location to play it and figure out what's wrong with the game. Also shows. I show it a lot at places.
With your friends, do you keep stats of how they perform in the game?
Yeah, I have analytics in there as well, and I record play test sessions, just the in-game footage, so I can go over it in case bugs or anything show up, but also just to see play patterns and understand what people tend to do, because it's kind of hard to do that on the spot and remember it perfectly.
And do you tend to invite the same people over and over again, or do you try and invite new people every time?
It depends on what I'm testing for, because I do have a group of testers who have been playing from the very beginning of the game, and that's mainly to see if new features or whatever are consistent and cohesive with the experience that I'm trying to build. But for general usability stuff, I'll get new people in it and just bring it to a game night with a bunch of strangers or something that someone's hosting. Yeah.
Okay. What was the main inspiration? Not necessarily a game, but what inspired you to make a local multiplayer? I assume it's local multiplayer, or is it
it's
local and online?
It's going to have some online too, but that is not. I wouldn't say that's the best way to play the game. It's better to play it. It's very much made with local in mind. So the inspiration was just an interesting challenge. I'd never made one before. It started at a game jam, a global game jam, and I don't remember what the prompt was, but it whatever it was, it suited itself to that. And also, I didn't want to build AI for a game jam, right? And ultimately, it turned into a game about interactions between people, and I think the original game jam was the game mode. If one person thrusts, everybody thrusts. One person shoots, everybody shoots. And then from that, I decided to build a bigger game. I was this is kind of cool. This is all of us playing against each other together, and I wanted to explore that. And it just made sense to not have the multiplayer only be a component of that and try and build a single player campaign around it, but instead really dive deep into this is about us in this space together, kind of figuring shit out or something.
So it's a game that's about playing similar controls and aesthetics, but then changing the kind of party, changing what the mode is or what the map is, and reacting to that. How do you kind of scope for new modes? Did you know you wanted to do a set number and you've worked them all up, or?
So I knew that I wanted 4, just because it felt like a nice round number. It seemed like a good amount of variance there.
And also a 4-player game.
And also a 4-player game,
one person can win a round, and then...
Exactly. And in the event that they all have different skills or whatever, proficiencies. But from there, I don't think I scoped the game very well. But I also tried to make it a little bit more generative. The game comes with those 4 main modes, but you also unlock more rules over time, right?
And are rules modes, or are those
rules are the way I talk about the game is I don't actually call them modes. We can call them modes here, but so a mode is, we'll call them games, right? It's a pack of games, and each one has its own core mechanic, and a game is just a configuration of rules. Using the sync example, right, where thrusting and shooting are synced together, each one of those is a rule that is toggleable. You can customize them, but you can also have it generated with any other number of rules. Does that answer your question?
So there's additional rules after the base game.
Exactly.
That you can put on, or that will come on and off.
Yeah. So the way I sort of, it was I was trying to solve for the problem of how do I keep this interesting, right? And I think the 4 games are interesting for a pretty long, a decent amount of time. But, I think what's cool about that game is sort of the sense of discovery. So every once in a while, a new rule will pop up and you'll get thrown into a match. So I guess sort of a temporary game that it's very fleeting. And you'll try it out, and it'll show you an example of like what you might be able to use that rule for, and you can either kind of create your own rule set and save it and like make your own game, or it'll just appear in like a party mode or like,
how many rules have you ended up with?
We have 12 total, yeah, and that's going to be the final number. Like it's just too many. They all interact with one another.
And they can all be on or off.
Yeah, I mean you can turn them all on and it's a bad game, but it's a thing that you can do. Yeah.
Is the order always the same between the games? Because when I played it at PAX, okay,
yeah,
so
that's just for the demo. Yeah,
okay.
And you can also go in and like choose them individually. So if you just really like one of them, you can play that forever, and that's what the game is.
How was the decision-making process of the order in which the games had come up at PAX? Like, what were you trying to accomplish with that?
It's in order of difficulty of understanding, I think, right? So the first game, Zoom, it's very safe, right? Like collisions with other players don't kill you, bullets don't kill you. The only thing that kills you are the walls, and they get closer and closer over time. So I always thought that was like a really good way to introduce the game to people so they can get accustomed to the controls and stuff.
And also express shields, because like the shields carry over. Like not getting hit by bullets, I feel like is another bonus too, right?
Yeah. There are some. I think in the demo there are 2 games that bullets are non-lethal, and there are also 3 games where player collisions are non-lethal, and 2 games where walls are non-lethal. Yeah. And those have all just been, I think, just the core mechanic in those shine better in that way. Like invisibility is not interesting if you just crash into the wall and die.
I brought that up because I felt like you guys did a good job of like visually, like not overtly telling me that this is how it works, but kind of like, oh, okay, well, when I see that because it's been like a month.
Sure, yeah.
The exact outlines or colors or things you slightly change with the user.
Yeah, there's like very subtle visual. I mean, they're not subtle, like they're pretty distinct. Like the walls when they're hazardous are like gray and spiky, and then when they're safe, they're blue and their edges are curved, right? They're rounded. And yeah, I think that was important because I don't want to write anything if I don't have to. I would rather just show you something and let you figure it out. And like, I don't tell anyone what a rule is or how a game works unless, I don't know. I mean, I think I do in menus and stuff, but that's just sort of supplementary to the primary gameplay experience, which I'd rather let you jump into and just like see and know as quickly as you can.
Because it takes seconds to learn it, and it's not one round.
Yeah,
at least in the PAX demo, you can lose a couple times and get the hang of it.
Yeah, in the full version of the game, the default number of points that you're trying to get is actually 5. It was like lessened to help people actually play more games at PAX.
There's a fair amount of like comedic writing in the game. When did that come in? How have you updated it? Have you scrapped things as they've not become funny?
Yeah, I scrap a lot of stuff. I mean, it came up because I think it adds a personality to the game. Like, it feels really stagnant without it. And I like jokes. Like, I think it's very much in the spirit of the game to laugh, right? And usually when people are discovering a rule or, like, playing a game for the first time, something will happen and then someone will win or everyone will die or whatever, and they'll laugh. And it just felt consistent to, like, end the round with or end like a match or something with a little joke with their stupid name, right? But stuff that and I mean, I kind of playtest that stuff. Mostly it's things that I find funny.
Is that like socially sourced at all?
Yeah, just like very loosely. Like I don't really write any numbers down. I just get a feel for things. Like I don't really like having references in there.
Well, references can be dangerous / irrelevant.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that, I mean, it depends on who the group is, right? Like if you don't get it, it's not gonna be funny for you. So I go more the like playful / absurdist route.
But is it all like you just in a blank room?
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Okay, so it's not like your buddy's nickname is the Mooge.
I mean, I do.
And that's a funny nickname, and then you put it in the game.
There are some nicknames that I have in there, and that's less like I think this is a funny nickname, and more just like I you're a person in my life, and I want to put you
Rather
in
than
here.
special thanks.
Yeah, like
you want to shout out any of the nicknames?
Yeah, Jason B. Kaplan, who's a real person and just like he's just a good friend of mine.
That's his government name?
That's his government name, yeah. He's also one of the Steam trading cards. And it's just a picture of him.
What's the picture? Baby photo?
No, it's an illustration of him that I had commissioned.
Who commissioned the illustration?
Emma Burkett is the artist who did all the Steam trading cards, and she did a great job. It looks great. It looks hilarious. He's shirtless, holding a succulent.
What's a succulent?
It's like a tiny plant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
So yeah, I mean there are personal references, but like those have no bearing on the real world. Like nobody will understand that or really care about it. So it's more funny for me. And then sometimes people find that sometimes things that are normal are funny to people because it feels out of place when you have
a bunch of joke names.
Yeah,
like
and then,
Doug or something.
Exactly.
So thanks for being on the question bus.
Oh hey, thanks for having me on the question bus. Oh, what a good name. I said Buff. That's better.
Yeah, that's why I like to not tell people if I don't have to.
Yeah, that's great. Why would you?
Because actually most people don't ask like what the name of the podcast is till after.
Yeah.
But I think that reveal is funny.
It's so funny.
I mean, yeah, there's merchandise.
Do you have a literal bus?
No, I don't have a bus yet. Though, like somebody close, like somebody bought a fucking like Greyhound bus in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
And it's like a bunch of residential parking. And they've been parking it around. And I was like, oh, that's so weird. Why do you have a residential bus? And now it's like a super activism bus.
Oh.
I don't know what it's activating for or whatever the verb is for activism, but it's like full of banners of something change.
Just a cause. Yeah.
I was looking at it, I was like, oh wow, like that bus now is illegally parked and is an activism bus.
And impassioned.
But no, I don't have a bus. It's a callback to our dev streams.
Oh, cool.
Just the way I met the Starseed Pilgrim guy once.
Yeah. I love Alex. He's a good guy.
He went, you're the question bus guy.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah. So this is before the podcast, just because I'd categorize all the chat. Because I believe that like somebody should be looking at the chat, and the people who are doing the development should not.
Sure.
Like, no, there should be like some sort of filter, so like I can filter stuff out and find stuff that's funny and order it and keep track of things, because people will just like flip over and mention comment 20 when comment 14 has not been addressed.
Yeah.
And also, if you're watching it afterwards, it makes it a lot easier.
Totally.
Actually, on the Twitch chat, if you're cataloging it. But anyways, thanks for being on. Is there anything else you want to plug?
Yeah, I mean, just the game. Shoot Shoot Make Pack. Hopefully coming out March. Steam console launches soon after that. You can check it out at ssmpgame.com. And that's it.
It's a decent URL. You don't have any social medias?
Oh, yeah, we do. We have a Twitter at ssmpgame. Also, at actual_humans is the studio.
And your Twitter account?
At John Remedios. JONREMEDIOS.
Any Instagram?
Yeah, I think those all have Instagrams with the exact same.
And Snapchat?
No Snapchat. No, I can't do it. I don't know why. I
can't monetize teens?
Yeah, I can't monetize those teens. I don't know. I feel old and disconnected every time I try and send a snap to anyone.
I never sent one, but I like it because like there's 7 people in my life that actually use it.
Yeah.
And I get to like see their day-to-day life, which is like Facebook. Everybody's posting.
Sure. Yeah.
Thing.
Makes sense. I like that too, I guess, sometimes. And I also like just sending a snap to one person, and it's always of me. It's the same snap every time, and it's just me licking my lips. So that's.
And slow, or
yeah.
Do you go top first?
Yeah, I go top. I go like from left to right.
Of your left to right, not the viewers' left.
Yeah, not
that it's on.
Yeah.
Well, I might flip it.
I can't. I think it depends on your camera.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people that like stream things that don't understand the camera flip, and they write something and then put it up to the camera and it's backwards.
It's totally backwards.
Yeah. Well, I hope you have a good rest of the show.
Thanks. You too, man.